everyone.
Make sure we're good.
Okay, so my journey with breast cancer started 11 and a half years ago. And I, at the time, I was happily dating Todd. And so I highlighted a few excerpts from my breast cancer oncologist, Dr. Vogel, is writing a book about surviving and living life with stage 4 breast cancer. So he asked me, I'm chapter 8. Whenever it's finished, I'm chapter 8. But I started out my journey. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, and I'm a full-time office administrator for a busy law firm. In the past 11 and a half years, I've been blessed with a proposal of marriage, had the privilege of seeing my children and stepchildren graduate from high school and college. We are family scattered all over the United States. Tampa, here, Tallahassee. For 2 years, my son was in Japan. Todd's son is in Denver. And so and then Carly is in Virginia and blessed us with a granddaughter. And we love that little girl so much. Looking back on my journey, the only way to keep looking forward is the only way to look forward, you know. And so I was 43 years old. It was the day before Mother's Day, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I refused to let it define me. You know, I had the attitude that it's going to have to work around me. I'm not going to have it work me. So I was diagnosed, and within a week I was taking chemotherapy. And it was at this time my oldest was graduating high school, going on to FSU, who won yesterday, and my son was finishing 8th grade. And when I started losing my hair, he shaved his head, so I wasn't the only bald person at home. The only bad thing about that was the next day was his 8th grade graduation, and he was receiving the principal's award. Brace face, you know, chubby cheeks, and a bald head. But it was so nice of him to do that. And, you know, my prayers were always, dear God, please let me finish raising my kids. And so my kids are 29, 25, and 20, and I was granted that wish. You know, God's been with me, many prayers, and you know, even when I had several metastases. One was to my lung. They just surgically removed that portion of the lung, and it didn't affect me in any way. And then the second one was my liver, second round of chemo for that. But I never needed anything other than that. And then the third, unfortunately, was to my brain. And I was tripping and falling and embarrassing my youngest, who we were walking into Chipotle, and I just kind of lost my balance and fell into the bushes. And so there were 3 handsome young men, right, standing outside Chipotle, and she's like, Mom, what are you doing, you know? And then lo and behold, like a month or 2 later, I had said to a friend who had vertigo before, I had said to a friend, what does it feel like? And she said, like you're spinning. And I said, okay. I said, I feel like I have no balance. And she looked at me and she said, I bet your doctor would be happy to see you tomorrow. And sure enough, I called and they gave me a stat MRI of my brain, and I had a 3-centimeter tumor up here. So Todd and I were going to be married the next month, and he always says that's the only reason I married him, because I wasn't of right mind at that time. But I ended up having surgery down in Miami, and they removed most of the tumor. Some of it could not be removed just because it would have taken my ability to walk on my left leg. Thus, you know, if you've ever watched me walk, I wobble a little bit, but I'm working so hard at it with physical therapy and stretch classes, or stretch zone. I don't know if any of you have heard that, but that's changed my life. But 10 days after I had that removed, they were able to preserve my hair, and we walked down the aisle here, and my brother, a Lutheran minister, married us. You know, he performed the ceremony, and it was lovely. It was family, it was closest friends, and it was very small, but if you can imagine, 10 days after I was still, another fun story is how God is with us, is I had bought a dress, you know, and it was sleeveless, and when I got out of the hospital, I was just bruised with all the, you know, lines in me, and bruised, and my mom and I went up to Macy's and hoping to find something with long sleeves. Well, there was a beautiful Ralph Lauren dress on the clearance rack for $89 that covered my arms. It was prettier than the dress I had picked out. If that's not a God sighting, I don't know what it is. But anyway, I continue to work full time. We travel. We, you know, I just, like I said, God is not going to let me, and then my last, I'm strong, I'm comfortable. Does that make sense? It's like I have a spot right now on my pulmonary trunk, but I'm comfortable with that because I know that God is with me, and I know He's taken me through everything. So that's it.